Welcome to my hood, ElderHooD. I am your host, Coach Memory, where I ask that you listen with your ears and respect my hood. Now, I am a young elder that turned my knots into ties. So therefore, I am now on a queen's clock. And like the game of chess, only queens can make certain moves in order to strengthen the Black family. My topic for today is introduction to my elderhood and the reason why I think now is the time to have these thought-provoking conversations. First of all, the importance. We all need to understand the importance of having a strong mental family legacy. People always talk about monetary, the money, the finances, the materialistic things, but no one ever concentrates on the mental focus of a family. The mental is so much more important than having things, because when things are gone, when things no longer serve you, you still have to have your mental. And you have to be able to understand when you have a family and when you have once was a village or community, you have to have someone that you can hold on to, that you can talk to, that you can lean on. As a whole, you can't hold on to money. You can't hold on to a car. You can't hold on to a house in a neighborhood that you think is more desirable than just being at peace. I always was told your home is supposed to be your safe haven. That's your peace. That's your fortress. That's where you can just be. And that's how families once was. And that's what we have to get back to. I know you could come when you go to a strong mental family, you can go as your authentic self and you are welcome. You are loved. You are cherished. So you don't have to look for cherishes and other people outside your family because you're cherished inside. So anyone after that, other than the family, that's just an extra layer. That's just a bonus, but it's not something that you need. And right now, it is so important because we are living more separate than ever before. It's too much individual thinking. When people think, well, long as I got it, I'm good. Long as my children have it, I'm good. I've always watched and I was always told, each one teach one. If your child is doing good and you see one of their friends that's not, then you pull that child. You become an extension for that child because that mother might not know how to be a parent or might need you. Or that mother might have to work 2 jobs to sustain what you only need 1 for. That mother might have not had the tools that were given to you. So it's important for us to start thinking more of unity, more togetherness. And once we was so unified, and it's just too much individual thinking and thinking, as long as I'm good, everybody else have to worry about themselves. It takes all of us. I love that saying that Jay-Z in a song, he said, what's better than 1 millionaire? 2, especially when the hue is same as you. That's the thinking we have to have. That's what people have to start getting back to, or to just have that mindset. I want to win with you. I don't want to be the only one on top of the hill, so to speak. I want to be there with you. I want us to grow together. I want us to glow together. What you have, I'm thankful for. What I have, I'm thankful for. So that individual thinking, we have to start thinking more of unity and togetherness and building. You have to build a circle of trust, a circle of love. We had those things. We don't have them anymore. So now you have to build with a method. It's got to be a method to the building. Because if you don't have a method to your building, you will have a method to your madness. You will have the wolves and bring the wolves in sheep's clothes. A person will infiltrate and will change the whole dynamics of your whole family if you allow it. If you weak or don't believe, if you don't think that can happen, it can. I've seen it. I've watched it. Now, another thing, keeping memories intact and together on one accord will make for a strong mental family legacy. And when I say that, you can't have 3, 4, or 5 versions of the same memory of the same person. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own, how do you say it? Everybody has their own relationship with individuals. But a person don't change their core depending on who they're talking to. I refuse to believe that. And for example, if you have a grandfather, say a grandfather, right? And if one person is saying, oh, he was so mean, he was just a drunk, he was a womanizer, male chauvinist. Now that's the same grandfather. Another person in the family will say, oh, he loved his family, he was a good breadwinner, he took them on vacation, he just loved his family. Then you get another version. Oh, he hated his family. He always talked about he couldn't wait to leave and he didn't want to be there. Now, depending on who's telling the story and to who, if one person is telling that story to the people that's closest to them, their children, their wife, their husband, their sisters, their brothers, then everybody's going to go with that story. So you have 3 versions. I just gave you 3 versions of one man. So that's why memories are so important, because even now when you go to a funeral, you'll look at an obituary and things are not the truth. Have one memory, and when somebody says something that is not true about an individual, make them stand on it. What's that, 10 toes down? You're going to have to stand on that one. Stick your chest out and explain that to us, big dog. You need to explain that, because that's not what I saw, or that's not what I was told. So you don't have to worry about that if you have one story. But make people stand on what they say about the people in your family. If you feel like that, we need a consensus. We need everybody to say, he was like that. Yes, she was like that. And if they were not the best people, it's some good in everybody. If it wasn't, God wouldn't have you on this earth. So take the good, but you still keep that person in your memory bank, because without that person, whoever it may be, another person wouldn't be here. So look at it like that. That's how you take the good from a memory. You tell the truth and you let it die. You don't tell it to everybody so that person has a negative view of an individual. You keep it moving. You keep that memory intact, one memory, one story, and then move on and learn from the mistake of that person and the memory that he or she left, and say, we're going to make sure we don't do this. We're going to put this in our family Bible or our family do's and don'ts, because everybody should have a do and a don't. Everybody should have rules in their family. And then you can have strong memories. You can have a strong mental family legacy. And then you can go get that money. And it could be more than 1 million. It can be 2. And you can have generational wealth. You can have strong children, strong family to stand on. You can have nepotism. You can have your children don't never have to work for anybody. It's possible. So let's have a strong mental family legacy. Keep the memory intact, because memories are the key. And Black pride, understand, when keeping memories intact and together on one accord will make for a strong mental family legacy. Memories are the key, and Black pride is the door that connects the generations, which is the priority. There's nothing wrong with being proud of who you are, what God made you. Till this world, there's going to always be a color issue. So use it as a badge of honor that it was meant for, because God don't make mistakes, right? God don't make mistakes. Now, to go through my hood is through conversations, purpose, and willingness to do the work. It will, if you're willing to acknowledge that you need to have a strong mental family legacy, if you're willing to acknowledge that, hey, I'm a knot, and I may be a tie. Well, let's go and figure this thing out in that closet so we can see what's going on. Yes, the closet is real. It's a play on words, but it's a closet. What do? You get dressed. You pull out your best hats. You pull out your shoes, your purse, and your dresses or your pants or your suits. But before you dress up, when you go in the closet, what are you? You're naked. You pulling out what you need. You might need a tummy tucker. You might need some Spanx or spandex. But you are in that closet to do the work. And when I say, I wanted you to understand when I talk about I was a knot and I had to get in that closet and become a tie. Being a knot, as you grow up, the way that I come up with the knot and the whole tie, you're just a ribbon. The way when you're born, you have breath. The first thing the universe and God promises you is breath. You have breath. You're a ribbon. You don't know nothing. You have to be taught everything. So you a ribbon and you tie. And you all those ties as you live life and you go through challenges or you go through discord or whatever you might go through in your life. At first your family and then the outside world, you just knot up. And you turn into a ball. For your life experiences, good, bad, and different, you turn into a knot. Not every, but at some point in your life, you're going to be a knot. But it's up to you to acknowledge, I'm a knot. I have some knot ways, and I want to be a tie. Now, a tie can always turn back into a knot. It's up to your experiences in life and how you make lemons out of lemonade, or you make lemonade out of lemon, or you don't. You just keep on with the lemons. You don't know how to put some sugar in there and mix it up and just tie it all together so it tastes good. It's palatable. But a tie is knowing that I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a human. I'm a human being that has issues like everybody else. I just acknowledge to myself. I don't have to tell everybody what my downfalls are, but I have to be willing to work on them, acknowledge them, and not rub them off on somebody else or blame somebody else for why I am the way that I am without doing the work. So that's what a tie. You still have trials, you have tribulations, you still have issues and things and growth. You are constantly growing. That's why I say you can turn back into a knot. It's up to you. But in order to be a tie, you have to acknowledge I'm a work in progress. And I'm going to continue to just keep flourishing and just working on me while living my best life. Whatever that looks like for each individual. But being an asset and not a liability is what the goal is as a tie. And like I said, anyone can go, you can flip-flop, you can go back. You can have knottish moments, knottish ways. But if you acknowledge it and you come up out of that, you're good. Long as you're willing and know that you are not a perfect person, you are not better than anybody else, you are always a work in progress. But if you are not, and you choose to be a not and choose to be an ugly person, or you choose to bring drama and just chaos everywhere you go, then you're not. And you're going to be a liability to your family. Ties are assets because they understand they have to do the work. Life is a constant lesson. So it's up to you to decide. But you can come in that closet and I can show you what I did to benefit me and make me a tie. And when I have knottish ways and knottish days, which is not often because I'm seasoned now. I'm in my hood. I'm headed to that elderhood status. But I'm always willing to listen. I'm always willing to work on my deficits, and I don't rub them off on anyone else. And if I feel like I do, I have no problem standing in an apology. I apologize. I was wrong. You didn't deserve that. So the closet worked well for me. I was able to get in there and I love it there. Now, I am the ideal person that I'm reaching out. People sometimes they call it your niche, or who do I think I'm for? I think I am for and I am ideal for millennials, zennials, if you will, willing and able to hear a Gen X, which is me. I'm from Generation X. So it's for millennials and zennials that's willing to hear my point of view from my experience and observations as to why where we are today as a people. And it's only for the purpose to turn things around for the younger versions of ourselves. so we can reimagine Black Pride. We don't have to go back. We don't have to keep going back and saying the past, but we have to acknowledge the past and know the past was there for a reason. Past is okay to visit the past, long as you don't waddle in it or sit in it too long. It's okay to imagine the future, long as you don't keep waiting for tomorrow. You have to live in the present. That's why I say we have to reimagine Black Pride and what that means and what that looks like. Because if we keep on going after generation, each generation gets desensitized. Each generation gets more and more lost of all the great things that happen with us in our Black Pride moments and times. So we have to put forth the effort and make it priority number one to start strengthening our families. And when we start strengthening our families, then we'll see it show up in the world. We'll have more do's and don'ts, if you will, lack of a better word, have accountability. So the younger versions of ourselves need us. And I'm here to be your cautionary tale. I'm here to show you what this thing looks like from my point of view. It's a lot of people out there, and you can be anywhere that you want to be. But if I'm for you, then let's do the work. And when I say the younger versions of myself, like I said, I am ideal, and the younger versions, I'm here for those mixed chicks. I'm here for the educated. It's a lot of mixed race people in the world today. But for some reason, a person will take on whatever is most popular or whatever is the better part. For example, if there's a child that is born that has a Black parent and has a white parent. Now, as growing up, you look at Black as bad or look at white as good, then what are you going to concentrate on being? You're going to concentrate on being whatever is popular at the time or whatever your community looks like or whatever the mindset in your family is. Not realizing you have two sides to you. You have to understand and appreciate and respect both sides, because you can't run from it. You can't go anywhere without only one side of you. No matter what you look like, you try to portray to be only one race. If you are a mixed chick, no disrespect intended. There's a lot of mixed chicks out here. None of us is pure. First of all, let me say that. But if you are conditioned to only be around Blacks and you look down on the white side of you, then you're doing yourself a disservice. If you only around whites and you look down on Blacks, you're doing yourself a disservice. Whatever the world see you as, you need to take pride in it. And you need to understand all sides of you, because there is two sides. It takes two to what? To make a baby. It takes two. You have a patriarch side and you have a matriarch side. And I discussed that at another time, but that's an example of our younger versions of ourselves. Last version of ourselves, because we will get deeper into it, but see how people that goes off to college. Some people go off to college and they don't never come back to around their family because they don't want their children to know where they come from. If they come from the projects or they come from a family that is full of drama, that has a lot of mental issues, what they'll do is they'll run away from it, take their child from it, and go off to college and just have this whole new persona of what they are. And then if their child asks them, well, where's your family and where do we come from, start asking questions, which children always do, then they'll start telling the negative as the child gets, oh, I'm going to tell you the negative side of this. And that'll make that child say, wow, they some bad people. I don't never want to get to know them. There's nothing good about them. Well, none of them went to college and we just got away and we don't need to ever go and visit them. That's going to turn that child into a knot, because no matter what you want to believe, you can't run away from DNA. You can't run away from who you are and what God intended you to be. So trust me when I say you can run, but you sure can't hide on all things. in your life. That mental will show up, and that child will be wondering, well, where I get this from? If they know where they come from, they can counterattack it, act on it, fix it, and move on with the rest of their lives. You should always teach your children where they come from. You don't have to put them in a bad situation, but you have to put them in a learning situation and let them know. So when they see something, they can say something, or when they feel something, they can talk about it and get past it. So I'm ideal for those people that need me. Now, the baby boomers, I'm going to say examples are necessary for change. Now, the baby boomers judged the silent generation, thus dropping the ball, and Generation X didn't pick it up. That's my generation. I'm part of Generation X, and I have to put myself there because I wasn't always what? I wasn't always a tie. I was a knot, and I didn't pick up the ball either. Now, in my hood, I choose to do what I can to wake up the mighty voices that is needed to guide and not silence. We all have a part to play in this world, and it's important for you to know where you belong and how you can wake up your mighty voice, because we all have one. It's just different versions. Now, we talked about me turning my knots into ties. I'm ready to help anyone that needs me. I will say it until times get better. I am not for everybody, but who I am for, I'm going to find you. I'm looking for you. And I hope you open to doing the work and understanding. I'm doing this not for bravado. I'm doing this to follow and do what God has put on my heart to do. If it's one, I believe in each one, teach one. If I can teach one person, then that person can teach another. And then the next person might be able to teach 10. I'm not here for a long time, but I am here for a good time. And I'm here to guide and build a strong mental family legacy as a whole. We're going to get back to that village. In the meantime and in between time, it's now time for Don't Shoot the Messenger, Change the Message. You have to stop allowing others to dictate what black is and what black looks like. Stop getting caught up with, I'm not black, I'm yellow, I'm brown, I'm that. You are what the world see you as. And some people will say, I'm light-skinned today. You are what the world see you as, and you might be light-skinned today, depending on what your family makeup look like. You might go outside of your family and end up being dark-skinned today. So let's stop putting those false, doesn't matter expressions, or what is the word I'm looking for? Stop trying to put those descriptions that does not matter, because what matters is what's inside. That's what matters the most, not what you look like on the outside. It matters what you look like on it, what you are, and what you feel like on the inside. So we can stop all that. We are all God's children. We are all put on this earth for a season, a reason, and not a long time. So let's make it a good time. And remember, when you're describing somebody, try to find another way other than saying a person's complexion or a deficit that makes somebody feel bad. I had that in my life, and I had to learn to love me so much that my skin didn't matter. My glasses didn't matter. I had to love me enough to know that I was completely like God wanted me to be, from my head to my toes. And just remember, nobody else is. White people are not white. Yellow people are not yellow. Red people are not red. It's just the way that the world has found. I'm not even going to say the world. It's the way that America has found a way to keep us separate and divided. This is an American thing. It may be spreading in other places, but that is an American way of thinking. So let's get rid of that and find another way to describe a person other than those complexions and what a person's hair look like and all of that. So be proud, period. And on that note, till next time, I leave you on the black hand side with positive energy, peace, and black pride. I want my knots and ties to know that you are never alone. And if you don't have a connection to family, guess what? You do now. I am here. You can book a one-on-one discovery call with me, Coach Memory, and we can discuss what the next steps for you look like. You can also find me on all social media platforms at Respect My Elderhood. I have a private page on Facebook. It's called a Queen's Clock, where we go and the queens get there to know, love, and be thyself. So the mantra and the phrase that I like to use through my sister's closet, but also on the Queen's Clock, is to know, love, and be thyself. We're there to connect and to have community, to just appreciate one another in our queenship, or looking at what that looks like. Just having different quotes and different aspirations. You have it. So, Facebook business page, The Family Legacy Coach. And until next time, I'm out. Let's heal so we can build. Whew, it's going to be a whole lot of editing on this one. Oh,